Oh shoot, it's time to play Kahoot.
Aw shoot, it's time to play Kahoot. Aw shoot, it's time to play Kahoot.
Aw shoot, it's time to play Kahoot. It's a friendly competition, but a competition nonetheless. Boy, it's time to play Kahoot. I hope that all y'all brought your best. If you studied for the quiz, then you don't even gotta guess. We inside the lab and we not coming out like house arrest. One would say that we obsessed with learning, plus we having fun. I'm like Obi-Wan Kenobi. You see all my patty ones, quiet and the chatty ones. Everybody playing it. It's a battle of our wits, and we make it live and lit. It's lit. I got the keys, I'm the plug, I'm the admin. Look at the screen, pick the pen, go on and log in. You better be ready with that knowledge in your noggin. Cause when that countdown in, you know we going in. Aw shoot, it's time to play Kahoot. It may seem like horseplay, but now we learning as a group. We stern and resolute, and we gaining knowledge bit by bit. Sometimes learning's quiet, other times it's loud and passionate.
There's no running from this L. If you know you didn't study, play me one-on-one or with your group, go get your buddies. In the end, it's a win-win. If you win or lose, we gonna discuss the answers when we finish as a group. But until that time comes, we pushing one another, engaging in some healthy competition with each other. We gauging what we know to see just what we need to learn. Catch me on this answer street, look at all these coins I earned.
Got my nickname, got my A game, so let's get it poppin'. When I get them answers right, ice cream like Baskin Robbins. Taking candy from a baby, but no, I'm not robbing. If you sleeping on a kid, boy, wake up because you slobbing. If you sleeping on us, then I hope you tossing and turning. We not just playing games, show we actually learning. And we constantly yearning to learn something new every day. Check my grades and my conduct, yeah, I slay.
Aw shoot, it's time to play Kahoot. It may seem like horseplay, but now we learning as a group. We stern and resolute, and we gaining knowledge bit by bit. Sometimes learning's quiet, other times it's loud and passionate.
Sometimes we are silent and we take a standardized test. It's so quiet you could hear a pen drop off the desk. Sometimes this is best we learn, yes, I confess. But sometimes we get energy to burn, yes, we a mess.
But we not talking crazy riot like a violent protest. Everything under control, man, we focused on progress. And part of the process is inviting interest into lessons, integrating ideas like Pinterest.
Do you think we at recess? These smiles on our face. And when we play Kahoot, man, I'm always gonna place. First, second, maybe third in the worst case. Getting all them answers right, green glowing on my face.
Nobody catch fits, we all good sports. All out like a blitz ball, like we on the court. Yeah, we gain in our brain, you can check the report. If you got a migraine, we apologize for the noise, sorry.
Aw shoot, it's time to play Kahoot. It may seem like horseplay, but now we learning as a group. We stern and resolute, and we gaining knowledge bit by bit. Sometimes learning's quiet, other times it's loud and passionate. Oh shoot, it's time to play Kahoot.
Aw shoot, it's time to play Kahoot. Aw shoot, it's time to play Kahoot.
Oh shoot, it's time to play Kahoot. It's a friendly competition, but a competition nonetheless. Boy, it's time to play Kahoot. I hope that all y'all brought your best. If you study for the quiz, then you don't even gotta guess. We inside the lab and we not coming out like house arrest. One would say that we obsessed with learning, plus we having fun. I'm like Obi-Wan Kenobi. You see all my patty ones, quiet and the chatty ones. Everybody playing it. It's a battle of our wits, and we make it live and lit. It's lit. I got the keys on the plug. I'm the admin. Look at the screen, pick the pen, go on and log in. You better be ready with that knowledge in your noggin. Ready? Cause when that countdown in, you know we going in. Aw shoot, it's time to play Kahoot. It may seem like horseplay, but now we learning as a group. We stern and resolute, and we gaining knowledge bit by bit. Sometimes learning's quiet, other times it's loud and passionate.
There's no running from this L. If you know you didn't study, play me one-on-one or with your group, go get your buddies. In the end, it's a win-win. If you win or lose, we gonna discuss the answers when we finish as a group. But until that time comes, we pushing one another, engaging in some healthy competition with each other. We gauging what we know to see just what we need to learn. Catch me on this answer street, look at all these coins I earned.
Got my nickname, got my A game, so let's get it poppin'. When I get them answers right, ice cream like Baskin Robbins. Taking candy from a baby, but no, I'm not robbing. If you sleeping on a kid, boy, wake up because you slobbing.
If you sleeping on us, then I hope you tossing and turning. We not just playing games, show we actually learning. And we constantly yearning to learn something new every day. Check my grades and my conduct. Yeah, I slay.
Aw shoot, it's time to play Kahoot. It may seem like horseplay, but now we learning as a group. We stern and resolute, and we gaining knowledge bit by bit. Sometimes learning's quiet, other times it's loud and passionate.
Sometimes we are silent and we take a standardized test. It's so quiet you could hear a pen drop off the desk. Sometimes this is best we learn, yes, I confess. But sometimes we get energy to burn, yes, we a mess.
But we not talking crazy riot like a violent protest. Everything under control, man, we focused on progress. And part of the process is inviting interest into lessons, integrating ideas like Pinterest.
You think we at recess, these smiles on our face. And when we play Kahoot, man, I'm always gonna place. First, second, maybe third in the worst.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 2 of our 5th annual Kahoot EDU Summit. Whether you are back for another day of awesome learning, or even maybe you're joining us for the first time, we are so glad you're here to partake in our awesome global PD event. If I do say so myself, I already saw some people sharing hellos and greetings in the chat, but I'm wondering, with this quick poll to start us off, if this is your first ever event with us, or maybe you are a veteran Kahooter coming back. Either way, I'll just take a quick second to say hello myself. I'm Hannah Harris. I am tuning in from the East Coast of the USA to help you and guide you through our full day of learning. We have a 90-minute jam-packed agenda with so many sessions, so many opportunities for learning, and of course, some play along the way as well. I saw that Dom says that they are a veteran Kahooter. Dana was saying that they are back for day 2. Excited to see some new faces and new names, and then also some repeat veteran Kahooters like Juliana and Catherine's first ever event. We're excited that you are back to learn how to use Kahoot, or maybe even revamp and refresh the way you've been using Kahoot. For years, we have a totally mixed crowd from all over the world. Hellos from Morocco, from Illinois, from Virginia, from Iraq, from Texas. We're so glad you're here, no matter where you are tuning in from. We're joined today, and really all of our days, we're so lucky, with educators and school-based staff, facilitators, university professors, staff from truly all corners of the world and across the globe. In fact, in the last 2 days alone, we've had thousands of new registrants coming into the Kahoot EDU Summit. So we're so glad you're here, and we're so glad you're back for more learning, and you've registered to share that experience with us. A true testament to all of the awesome efforts of the teacher community at large. Really, no surprise there that not just our students are achieving awesome with Kahoot, but they're achieving that awesome experience because of facilitators and leaders like yourself. Today, we're going to again be uncovering and unpacking the many modes and mediums and moments that really help to empower student success and growth. We're going to hear again from some awesome Kahoot ambassadors sharing their firsthand experiences of how they've adapted and implemented Kahoot tools. There's a really creative session that we have at the end of the day that has both the know-how, the pedagogy, and then also the practice and process so that you can feel equipped to do just the same. We'll also hear from Kahoot crew members behind the screen that have worked so very hard to develop our features and functions that have made our students and kids so excited to achieve that awesome learning experience and stay curious in the classrooms as well. Today also, different from previous EDU summits, we are so excited, and I'm personally so excited to be joined by a co-host today. We have special guest Jamie Gilbert, or perhaps you know him as Mr. G Teacher on socials, who has really experienced the full circle teacher experience. Jamie was first a school volunteer and now is back in his own classroom as a primary lead and assistant head in that same school that he practiced in originally. So welcome, Jamie. We are so very glad that you're here to join us.
Hello, guys. So
And
yeah, I'm tuning in all the way from Newcastle, England. It's 4:03 here. So just finished a full day of teaching. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, I work with children who have special educational needs, but specifically I work with children who experience social, emotional, and mental health difficulties, all the way from the age of 3 right through to 16.
so many cool perspectives that I'm sure you'll be able to share and help us talk through and experience throughout our day today. We are so excited to have you here, Jamie, and so excited to learn from all of those insights and experiences throughout our event. As we mentioned previously with all Kahoot EDU Summits, just want to make sure that everyone is equipped with all of our organization and housekeeping reminders. And I know time's a ticking and we have lots to cover. So I'm going to jump right in with those. If you haven't already looked back on our recordings from yesterday, if you missed day 1 of the summit, we absolutely encourage you to do so. All of our sessions and sharing opportunities today will be available on demand. We'll be sure to reach out via email to let you know when those sessions are fully and completely live in an event playlist, but you can always visit our Kahoot YouTube channel as well as our kahoot.com/webinars event page in case you want to check in yourself. All of our educators and participants that are joining in on the summit today, whether you are a teacher prep candidate still in school, earning your credentials to be a teacher, or a longtime classroom veteran, we love to celebrate you with a certificate of attendance and achievement for joining our summit today. We'll get that certificate out to anyone who registers. Our registration is still live on the kahoot.com webpage. So in case you have not submitted it yet, be sure to add your email address and we'll get that certificate to you by the end of the week. All of those certificates again will be emailed and you can add your name, download and print and share to any of your local credentials or just keep for yourself to brag about to colleagues and teammates. Should you need to take a break or step away from the EDU Summit at any time, no problem at all. You can always catch us back at kahoot.com or again on our YouTube page. We have a fantastic group of crew members. I know we've already chatted alongside so many Kahoot crew members in the chat, but always feel free to drop your questions, your feedback, or your celebrations in the YouTube chat stream. If you're tuning in on our Kahoot webpage and you're not seeing that chat stream live, not a problem. Just navigate over to the YouTube button at the bottom of that video. It'll take you to our YouTube channel and you'll see the chat happening live on the right side of your screen. You'll also see some text and captioning happening live on our live sessions as well as on demand. So in case you are tuning in a language other than English, we definitely encourage you to check out our on-demand recording for localized closed caption to make it just right for your watching experience. We hope these sessions remain curious, exciting, and full of awesome learning, and definitely know what you're thinking, how you're feeling, or even what questions you have along the way in our chat. We have so many awesome updates, so many exciting things to see hands-on with live demos. So without further ado, we will certainly get started. We are first going to welcome Porrick and Mara to our stage to kind of walk us through a new and updated Kahoot universe of experiences. So welcome both. Thank you for being here, and I will officially hand the microphone over to you.
Super. Thank you, Hannah. And welcome everybody to day 2 of the EDU Summit. Let me share my screen. Yes, so myself and Myra will take you through a deep dive today into some of the features that if you had attended yesterday's session, you would have heard from Sean and Pekka, who gave you that overview over all of the features that should be available for back to school next year. And today, myself and Myra will dive deep into 2 main features. One is our AI features, and the second is self-study features on the Kahoot platform. And I'm located in Oslo, Norway. I'm Irish, and Myra is in Paris, France. So welcome everybody. I see there's people from all over the world, Italy and Oklahoma, Ohio, California. Yeah, lots of people from all over the world. So welcome everybody. And we hope to share with you some of the great features that are actually currently available on the platform, and a little bit of a taste of some of the things that will be available later in the year for back to school. So yes, let's get started. So on AI, we've been building out our suite of features for AI, whether it's in creation of Kahoots or in hosting or in self-study or in report analysis. And really, we've been looking at AI as a way to enhance learning outcomes or to save time for teachers. And when it comes to saving time, the Kahoot AI generator has gotten a new lift. If you've already had access or have seen the feature from before, we've a new and improved version that just got released this week, which I'll demo live today. And it's really about generating ready-to-play Kahoots in seconds. And we have the ability to generate from a prompt, from a PDF. So you can, if you have a book or you have some notes, you can generate a full Kahoot from that content. So you have a trusted source passed into the model. We will also support URL generation. So if you paste in a URL to a web page, you will generate a full Kahoot from the content on that web page. And then lastly, something that Sean showcased yesterday, and I'll repeat it again today for those of you who missed it, scanned notes, which is fantastic both for students and for teachers. And I'll share a little bit about that in a moment. So yes, that's a little bit of a taste of what we'll demo today. But just to highlight what we really were trying to achieve, I think this quote from Juliana Keys, a teacher, really sums it up. I just learned Kahoot had added an AI feature. I could upload my study guide and it made an entire review game for class tomorrow. What will I do with my 2 hours of free time tonight? And I'm sure all teachers out there can really relate to this. So we hope we can make your lives a little bit easier with our new generator. So with that, I'll switch right over to a live demo. So here we have an EDU user logged into the platform. We click create, and now you're presented with a few options. You can start from a blank canvas, as normal. We have a group of templates if you want a kind of starting point with templates. And then we have 2 generation options. One is from a prompt, and the second one is from a PDF. So I can start with generating from a prompt. So if I type in London, for example, here, you can see some of the options you have. You can choose a format. So we have, mixed up the types of questions that are used in a quiz format compared to a presentation format. So a quiz format is about, assessment. It's multiple choice questions. It's all of the questions that you get points for. Whereas a presentation mixes up a greater mix of, slides and questions as well. But it's all about kind of introducing a topic. And we'll build out these formats plus more topics and more formats over the coming weeks and months. But I'll start with a quiz format, and then you can see you can actually generate in different languages, and you can choose, a skill level or a grade level to choose. So if I generate content based on London, so here it's passing the prompt into a model, and it's generating questions on the fly here about London. And we've tried to create now a full playable Kahoot where all the questions make sense in sequence. So we start with a poll, so to get a discussion started in the class. How many times have you visited London? What is the official currency of London? And then we've added some slides to kind of enrich the experience. An interesting fact, the Tower Bridge in London is not only an iconic landmark, but also a movable bridge that allows ships to pass through. Which of the following is a famous museum in London? It is the British Museum. There's a bit of a giveaway in the name. Did you know the red telephone booths are a symbol of London and can still be found in some parts of the city? So this is just a taste of some of the types of questions that are automatically generated with fantastic images from Getty images and Unsplash, so to enrich the experience. So now you can see there's been 20 questions generated here from the prompt. I can add all of these 20 questions to my Kahoot, and then you can see what they look like when you when you preview this. You can see what that experience will actually be like when you present the class. So here are some of the question types and how they are looking when it's auto-generated from AI. Yes, we can try a second prompt just to give you another sample. When you click on the PDF to Kahoot, I have a ready-to-go PDF here. It's a quite text-heavy PDF about astronomy. A quite recent event was the solar or the eclipse. So here's a chapter about the solar eclipse, very text-heavy. How can I enrich this and really kind of, translate this over to my students in a more engaging format? Well, Kahoot to the rescue. You can add a PDF to the generator. You can choose the chapter of choice. I have done this before, so I think it's from 278. So you choose all the pages. You can choose a range down here if you want, for just for illustrative purposes. I'll select a bunch of pages individually, and then you click generate, or continue in this case, and it'll generate those questions on the fly. So again, it's a quiz format, language is English intermediate, and now it's using the source of that chapter, passing it into a large language model, and it's generating a full Kahoot based on the content that you passed it in. So here another poll question: have you witnessed a solar lunar eclipse? This is probably good advice, why you should never look directly at the sun during an eclipse. Did you know the longest total solar eclipse of the 21st century occurred on July 22nd, 2009 and lasted for a maximum of 6 minutes and 39 seconds? So yes, so here you go. You can see all of the different questions generated here, and it's still generating questions down at the bottom. So yes, and still with AI, you can't trust it. We have ensured that there's a human in the loop, so that you have the chance to validate the output here before you save your Kahoot and present it to your class, or enrich the Kahoot with more questions manually after it's been generated. But just to give you another sample, if I change this to a presentation, and for example, I actually can't speak French, but let's see what happens if I try generate the same content in French at an intermediate level in a presentation format. So here you go. Here's another poll question to start off with in French for any of you French speakers out there. And then it's got a full French Kahoot generated on the fly from an English sourced textbook. So yeah, and it's still generating questions here. So you can look at it in a list view, or you can look at it in a full-on slide view to validate. So you can add these questions on the fly, or you can wait till all the questions are generated before you add them all to your Kahoot. Yes, so that is our Kahoot generator. It's available for Kahoot EDU and Kahoot Max users, but we have exciting news. We hope to give more of this away to lower subscription tiers in the coming weeks and months, so stay tuned for that. Right, that is our Kahoot AI generator. The next one to showcase is, and it's a repeat of what Sean showcased yesterday, is scanning notes. This is both good for students and for teachers. If a teacher wants to scan a textbook or notes they previously have written down, here you have a chemistry student scanning their notes, which is quite dense, you can see. So they're not great pictures, but the feature is able to extract the text from those handwritten notes, convert it into a Kahoot, and you have now a ready-to-play Kahoot. Again, we encourage people to validate the output. select the question types that you would like to add to your Kahoot for either self-study from a student's perspective or from a teacher presenting to an audience. And then I'll give a little bit of a sneak peek here to a feature that Myra will soon demo in this new practice or micro lesson format. You can self-study. Now you've got the Chemistry 101 Kahoot, you choose practice, and here you go. You've got this social media type interface where you can swipe between the different questions and you can study the content from your scanned notes. So we hope, again, this will save a lot of time for both students and teachers, whether it's a teacher hosting content for a student or sharing the content with a student, or a student for self-study. Yes. So that's a sample of some of the AI features that are actually currently on the platform. The scanned notes will be available in just a couple of weeks. And with that, I'll pass it over to Myra, who will share more about our engaging self-study experience. Over to you, Myra.
Thanks, Parik. Honestly, I wish I had the AI note scanner when I was still studying. It looks super amazing. I'm here to show you some cool new other updates for the self-study experience. We want the students to really take ownership of their own learning. So this year we have been improving the self-study modes. We have thousands and thousands and thousands of Kahoots created by our amazing educators, and they can be, of course, played solo as well. There is a great lineup of solo game modes that you might have tried already in your classrooms: the treasure trove, the chill art, tallest tower, and of course the classic mode. And now we have released flashcards as well, and the new practice game mode that Parik kind of gave a sneak peek already. So any Kahoot can also be launched in these two new study modes, and I will demo both in a second. Let's go to the next slide. Yep, so in addition to these new solo study modes, we have also our solo math games coming to web for back to school. We have already duck fractions, pop-up multiplications, and we collaborated with the wonderful Peanuts team to make a version of the fraction game starring Snoopy and Woodstock, but I will show it a bit later. We have two new games coming for back to school as well. If we can go back to the previous slide, thanks. One is about equations, and one is the web version of numbers, which is one of the most popular learning apps we have. I will show a few games for you as well during this session, and share links for the chat where you can try them yourselves. And now we can move ahead to our agenda for this short session. First, I will show you the new practice mode with a micro learning lesson. And we have an example Olympic lesson QR code on the bottom of the slide. You can take you can scan it and play it already by yourself, and we will try to put it in the chat as well. It's a new learning lesson format, perfect for phone especially. After that, we will look at the new flashcards and new improved flashcards and how to share them to students. The students don't need a login anymore to use the solo game modes. It's a new update that a lot of teachers have requested. And at the end, I will show a few math game solo progressions and get you playing some of those games as well. Okay, sounds good? Let's go, and I will share my screen. Here, I hope you're seeing what I am seeing. So this is a Kahoot combining slides and questions about the upcoming Olympic Games in Paris, in fact. And I click play solo. And here is the new practice mode. Here you can see all the solo game modes available, the flashcards already available, and I will just start it in a practice mode. You can see it's optimized for phone usage, and you can easily swipe to read the story. So this is about 92 Summer Olympics in Barcelona. Derek Redmond was starting in a good position, but unfortunately he fell to the floor midway. He had torn his hamstring muscle. He was in terrible pain, but decided to finish the race anyway. The sprinter could barely walk. There was no way he was going to cross the finish line, but he still persisted. Unexpectedly, an older man appeared on the track. It was his dad. He leaned on his father's shoulder and they kept going. Then we have a little quiz question. According to the rules, yep, you cannot have help. He was disqualified, but they continued. The audience stood up and cheered for them. Finally, they managed to cross the finish line together. He's now retired, and his dad, Jim, was one of the torchbearers at the London Olympics. And how did he finish the race? Oh, he was disqualified. So he never got a medal, but I'm sure he won our hearts. And we are at the end of this micro lesson. And you can see, you can swipe back and forth to find the information you need from the slides. And it's combining nicely information, text, pictures with the normal Kahoot quiz questions, you know. There is no podium, there is no point. So you can see it's very quick to do. I would imagine it would be amazing for students to have them do something in a flipped classroom style, have them read something to the lesson, and then when we are together in a classroom, use that time together to discuss and extend the questions, and have them be at the same level of knowledge in a topic. So this was the new practice mode, also this new micro learning format. Next, I will hop on and show the flashcards. So I've selected one of the Kahoots from the platform made by a wonderful educator. This might be your Kahoot for the end of the unit review. You could share a Kahoot by sharing an URL or sharing it from here, from the menu. But if you click play solo, and in fact, share this URL to the students, your students don't need to log in. So they can play anonymously. So they don't need to create accounts. They don't need to remember their passwords. They can jump into practice mode immediately. So that's a wonderful thing to keep in mind. So I click flashcards. It's very simple, very basic. Every question is here with the picture. If I tap it, I see the answer, and it's really testing me. Now I don't see the answer options anymore. I really need to know if I can really see if I know it, if I don't know it. What is the name of the fluid inside a cell? Let's say I knew it, but I honestly didn't. I swipe right. Whatever I know, I swipe right. If I'm unsure, I can check, obviously. Whatever I don't know, I swipe left, and it goes back to the stack. And it comes again and again and again. And from the bottom, I can see how many I've known and how many I've not completed yet. So a very simple way for students to assess what they know and be sure that they know the things they know for the maybe upcoming exams. I will just exit. Really nice way to then jump into, maybe you need to practice a little bit more. Maybe a student wants to practice with the game modes and then go back to the flashcards. Here I can see that I've completed some, I knew some, but still there is cards to be played, and I can play again and again until I'm very confident. Okay, then we've done the micro-learning format, the new practice mode, flashcards. Remember, any Kahoot can be played as a flashcard or a practice mode. We jump in to the math games. And I wonder if somebody can send the link to pop-up multiplications to the chat so people can try it out themselves. That would be amazing. So intent for these math games is that you don't need to find content for a specific math topic. We have created a progression for you as well. Think of it as a game inside Kahoot platform that students can come in and start playing and continue playing. There are sessions in each world, and you get stars when you complete a session. When you get enough stars, you open and unlock new worlds that get gradually more and more difficult. Here I've unlocked world 2, that is the beach land. I haven't yet gotten the next world stars and the next ones and the next ones. Well, let's go back to the one that is already unlocked. Maybe this one. This I got 3 stars, so I go to the next one. The game interactions are a little bit different for each game. In this game, I take a little creature and I need to get 4 by 4. The goal is on the top. I can explore a little bit and then I release. Voila. And I get points and I continue. There is 8 levels in this session. Oh, wow. I think that academic. No, I thought I made a mistake, but no, I didn't. And after I completed eight levels, I get stars. I continue the gameplay. All content is ready-made. It's like figuring out multiplication through arrays. So that was pop-up multiplication. Next, I will show you Snoopy Fractions, which was a collaboration with the Peanuts team. There is Woodstock and Snoopy, and it's about fractions, basically. And they are tough for kids. So this is allowing them to practice in a fun way. And each game, like I said, has a little bit of a different way to play. This one is a circle divided in fourths, so I have to get to Woodstock. So I need to think a little bit. So I have 2/4 to Woodstock and 1/4 back to the flag. Let's see. Yep. Settle. And onto the space, we are launched. Perfect. This one will be to the Woodstock. Can you see? Maybe it's 2/4. Yes. Let's see. Oh, perfect. Now I need to get back. Yes. So students can really explore different kind of fractions, number lines, circle models, test and try out what happens, what kind of a size is the jump, and they get progressively more difficult as well. Our game Duck Fractions is also of the same topic, and Snoopy is just a very fun way of enjoying fraction games. Finally, we have numbers on web, which has similar progression. We have several levels. This is for younger learners, kindergarten, grade 1. We have a lot of puzzles. You have to get some stars to unlock new worlds. They get progressively more difficult. They are ready-made. Let's try this one and see what happens. So in this game, you have to create little number creatures. And here they come. This little tiny one is Noom 1. He eats another one, becomes 1 + 1, 2. 2 + 1 is 3, 4, 5, and 6. We could go all the way up to 10 as well. And we see a number 6, we can slice it in different ways to see how numbers can be decomposed and composed to other numbers. And this is a puzzle game that you just have to find the right pieces to complete a picture. And it's one of the, oops, it's not right, but this is correct. Complete a picture and then move on to next levels. And the kind of number characters you get, it's really pushing you to think a bit of strategies in a fun way and play with numbers, have fun with math. Is that something, we don't want the kids to be afraid of math. We want them to love it and find it like a puzzle game. Perfect. So I completed that one and got a star. So let's see if I managed to remember everything. Yes. So Porik showed you the AI generator. It's for all of you teachers. It saves your time. Your time is valuable. Take care of yourselves. And I went through the practice format, which is swipeable, super fast way to go through Kahoots and content on your phone. And micro-learning lesson format, which combines slides and Kahoot questions that can become like a story almost that you consume and play through. Flashcards, new and improved for memorization, a wonderful new tool for the self-study experience. And then I showed you the math games that bring a kind of like a full game of math into Kahoot that you can allow kids to just play and progress through and learn and have fun and get confident and try like a little puzzle games to practice their problem-solving skills. I wish everyone is going to have an amazing summer. I wish you're going to have a relaxing summer vacations. We have an amazing summer deal as well for June. And I hope you'll be relaxed and I will see you back to school with these new amazing features. Oh, back to Hannah.
Thank you, Myra. I just wanted to make sure that we're giving you the buffer time that you might need to close out. So appreciate the walkthrough, the examples, and the live demos. Loving to see all the excitement and really connection and collaboration in the chat as well. So many, so much excitement just in general. Someone saying, love the self-study modes, especially for asynchronous students. So awesome to see. Thank you so much for the walkthroughs.
Yeah, thank you guys. That was super informative. Really like the AI side of it. That's going to be massively influential for teachers and reducing teacher workload, hopefully saving you guys a bit of time. The scan notes, that's going to be so good for revision. That's in that type of revision format, preparation for exams. And then that was a fantastic breakdown of all the micro learning, all the different features. So yeah, can't wait to get stuck into those in the classroom.
Such a ripple effect of learning too, Jamie. And I know that you really tend to be an expert in all the ways that you're supporting a huge range of students in both activity and ability, and seeing how that impact, the importance of that impact is coming down to like personalization of learning and how we're fitting these lessons, whether as nano-sized, literally, or full-scale learning environments and learning suites, whether self-created or from AI-assisted tools, and how we are really managing student engagement and interaction in that personalized learning experience. So I'm going to step off this stage, the virtual stage, and really hand it over to you to get right into those experiences and how we are really learning to support students of all backgrounds and all dynamics. And I feel like we should get right into it with a Kahoot to get us started. What do you think?
Sounds fantastic. Let's do it.
So if you are tuning in and joining from a computer, definitely feel free to open kahoot.it in another browser or even in another tab. You can do the same thing on a mobile device or join us from your Kahoot app. The game pin, as you can see on screen, is 766-4864, or of course, scan that QR code and join us live in this Kahoot game. We're excited to see who makes it to the podium.
So yeah, just a little bit of context on this game. So I work with children with social, emotional, and mental health difficulties, or children who are also neurodivergent. So this is a quiz on neurodivergence. So yeah, we're gonna explore neurodivergence with a quick quiz, and then I'm going to do a presentation. Hopefully I'll be able to answer the questions in the quiz. So this is kind of like a little pre-assessment, just introducing a topic. So this is what I would normally do if I was starting a topic. I would have a little Kahoot to introduce, and then we'd do the key learning and then come back to it. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. Okay, so yeah, understanding neurodivergence. Here we go. Good luck, guys. So what population of the world is neurodivergent? Within this Kahoot, there'll be different types of questions as well, just so we could show off all the tools that are available to teachers to use in their own personal Kahoots as well. Okay, so yeah, the correct answer is between 15 and 20%. That figure is likely to rise in the future as well. So that is the equivalent between 1 and 5 in a classroom. What does ADHD stand for? Yeah, so it's ADHD stands for attention deficit hyperactive disorder. So a child with ADHD is expected to receive how many negative comments linked to the condition before they reach 12 years old? So you've got between 0 and 50,000. This is what the latest research suggests. So the latest research suggests that a child will receive an estimate around 20,000 negative comments linked to ADHD, which is a frightful figure, which is why I try and do my best to encourage positivity around the condition. What percentage of neurodivergents remain unemployed? This is after school, post school. Yeah, it's a large figure. It's a large figure, 30 to 40%. That's why it's so crucial that we get things right in school and put all the strategy in place to support these learners and give them the best opportunity possible in life. Everyone in this session is neurodiverse. True or false? The answer is true, and I'm going to explain that later in a bit more detail in my presentation. So this one you've got to type the answer for. What is the most common type of neurodivergence? Double points because you have to type this. What is the most common type of neurodivergence? Yes, I'll put a little bit incentive there, double points. This is brilliant for neurodivergent learners because an incentive, you get a little bit more engagement if you put an incentive in there, a little bit more likely to work. Well done if anybody got that right. Dyslexia is the most common type of neurodivergence, which is a reading disability. There's a range of other neurodivergent conditions there. So well done, guys. Yeah, fantastic. Ready to continue? Thank you. So I want you to order these neurodivergent conditions from the most common to the least. So this is like a drag one, you drag and place where you think. So I've experience working with all of these conditions. So yeah, if you were paying attention on the previous question, you would have realized that dyslexia is the most common, with between 5 to 10%. Then you have ADHD, which in England is just around about 4%. Then you have autism, which is about 2 to 3%. And Tourette's syndrome is less than that, between 1 and 2%. Okay, just the last one. I think this is my last one to finish. Where was the first ever person diagnosed with autism from? So this is just a pin. So it's within one of the states. If you just pin where you think, I'd be super impressed if anybody gets this. Hence why I've also put a double points attached to it. Wow. We actually got a lot of correct answers there. That was insane. That's insane. Yeah, so the first diagnosis recorded, so my latest information is it was Donald Trippett, who was the first ever person diagnosed with autism, and he was from Mississippi. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining that. Let's have a look at the podium. Well done, Dom. Alyssa, second place, fantastic. Who is top of our leader? MG, that doesn't stand for Mr. G as well. I promise that is not me. That's not me. Well done. That was fantastic effort, guys. And I'm going to go over and start sharing my screen and going through how to support neurodivergent learners in the classroom in a bit more detail. And where does Kahoot fit into all this? How do I use Kahoot to interact and motivate the most challenging pupils? Okay. I've got dual screens. I'm just going to go on that side. Okay, so supporting neurodivergent children in the classroom using Kahoot. How do I do it? Let's go through it. So a little bit about me. So I've been working with neurodivergent children and children with social, emotional, mental health difficulties for 10 years this September. I started my career as a volunteer. Then I was given a teaching assistant contract a week later. I was then, after speaking to my head teacher, I said, go away, get your job, go away, get your degree, come back and I'll give you a job as a teacher. And that's exactly what happened. And from that point, I have been middle leader of primary to now, I am now assistant head of main site. So I'm responsible for all children on our role between 3 and 16. Aside from that, I've created my own social media. So if you follow me, thank you so much, because you're also spreading the awareness. The goal from my social media account is to raise awareness and promote positivity around supporting these fantastic neurodivergent and children with social, emotional, and mental health as well. So yeah, the account was called Mr. J Teacher. It was created to raise awareness around these conditions, but also to show an insight in what an inclusive neurodivergent classroom looks like. So since the creation of those accounts I use, so TikTok has got 1 million followers, which is I think 1.1 now, which is fantastic. And Instagram was 100,000. It's now, I think the latest figures are 134,000. So that's also rising rapidly, which is fantastic support. The support from the neurodivergent community has been absolutely fantastic. I have signed a book deal, and I'm in the process of writing a book at the minute that is also going to support neurodivergent learners in the classroom as well. So understanding neurodivergence. So what do the stats say? So from the Kahoot, from the little pre-assessment quiz, an estimated 15 to 20% of the world's population exhibits some form of neurodivergence. So that could be ADHD, could be ASD, could be dyslexia, dyspraxia. We'll talk about those in a little bit more detail. So yeah, between 15 and 20%, and that figure, that's from 2020, that figure will be rising now, and that's in terms of the global population as well. Connolly, Constable, and Mullally 2023 evidence that 92.1% of people with significant absence from school were neurodivergent. This is a key issue in England. It might be an issue around where you're working as well, wherever you are all over the globe. Attendance can be an issue. Persistent non-absenteeism is definitely an issue in England, and people and children who are neurodivergent, this impacts them the most. So the time we have with them in school, we need to make sure we're having those positive interactions that are going to make an impact to that child. So one of the questions was, is everybody in this room neurodiverse? So I just wanted to dive into those key terms in a little bit more detail because they often get mixed up. So I just wanted to provide some clarity on that. So neurodiversity is the idea that every brain is different. So in that Kahoot there's not every brain is unique. So in that room, everybody is neurodiverse. Every brain is unique. Neurodivergent, that is a specialist way that the brain processes information, and you can categorize that with certain neurological conditions such as ADHD. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is a neurodivergent condition. Now there are several of these neurodivergent conditions. However, so in your classroom, your classroom would be neurodiverse. There's a range of different brains in there. Now you might have the odd neurodivergent learner. I'm working in a neurodivergent school. I have a high percentage of neurodivergent learners, whereas you might maybe have 1 to 10. I'd be interested in the chat to see how many people, in your typical classroom, how many neurodivergent learners that you have. But yeah, in every classroom, it's neurodiverse because everyone's brain's different. So who's neurodivergent? So I've alluded to it a little bit on the previous slides, but it's anyone who has ADHD, autism, dyslexia, dyspraxia, dyscalculia, Tourette syndrome, FESD, so fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. I've just had recent training on that. Oppositional defiance disorder, which is a fascinating one. Learning disabilities and many more. I couldn't fit them all on the slide. Yeah, oppositional defiance disorder. I've came across, that's quite a rare one. I've came across that once in my career. That's absolutely fascinating. So that is where I had to kind of program my brain to say the opposite to a child to kind of get him to do a task. So otherwise, it would be a kind of point blank refusal. It's literally, it's oppositional behavior where they're going to refuse an instruction. So I had to really tailor my teaching and adapt my language around this. So for instance, I would say to the student, right, there's no way you're going to finish that math job. Absolutely no way. There's no way you're going to do it. And then that student would be like, right, well, I'm going to prove Mr. G wrong. I'm going to do it. And that's the oppositional defiance element. Absolutely fantastic condition, really fascinating one. The main conditions I work with, ADHD, autism, dyslexia, they're the main three for neurodivergence that you would probably see in the classroom. So I work with ADHD. I'm a big advocate of it. I'm also waiting as an adult to be assessed because I do have traits of ADHD. So it'll be interesting to see if I actually get a diagnosis of ADHD in the future. So that might be something to look out for if you follow me on socials. So yeah, dyslexia is the most common type of neurodivergence. I've already kind of alluded to this, but ADHD and autism are on the rise globally. Now, there's a few reasons for this. Mainly is to do with the science. We know more about these conditions now. I'm not sure about other countries, but just from my experience in England, it wasn't until the year 2000 that the NHS officially recognised ADHD as actual a neurological condition. So when I started the profession, even when I started the profession where I'm working now, there were some staff who I worked with who were skeptical that ADHD was a myth, for example, and they were skeptical and just kind of put it down to like bad behavior, bad parenting. Now we know that isn't actually true. It's a neurological condition, which means it affects your brain. And it's really difficult to argue with brain science because they know that stuff. So how do you support a neurodivergent learner in the classroom? These three elements of what, in my experience, are what you need. These are the core ingredients, what you need to create an inclusive classroom that supports a neurodivergent learner. The first thing is a positive relationship. So I'm going to dive into all these three in a bit more detail separately, but absolutely the most fundamental thing to managing challenging behavior is through positive relationships. So a little reference, if anyone's seen Suicide Squad, triangle, I want you to study that triangle. Positive relationships at the peak, you've got positive interaction, which fuels the positive relationships. If you have those two components, that is going to lead to engagement. If you're missing one of those components, then the likelihood is that it's going to have a negative impact on engagement, which may lead to negative behavior change or refusal to engage in a task. So yeah, positive relationships. So these are so important when working with neurodivergent learners. It's more challenging to secure a relationship, a positive relationship with a neurodivergent child due to their adverse experiences. They may have been through trauma. There's a range of scenarios which makes it harder for a neurodivergent child to kind of let down the guard and trust you. So it's so important that you get the relationship bit right. That's what you can kind of see through my socials as well. I'll do things in the classroom that you wouldn't typically see in a mainstream setting. So I'll dance with the students. I'll actually initiate and incorporate movement breaks when the children need them. So yeah, and a great way that we're going to go on to is how Kahoot can help really develop these positive relationships as well. Another thing that I've missed off just from my notes there is one strategy that I found super useful in terms of developing positive relationships with students is trying to adapt whatever curriculum you have. So in England, we have the national curriculum, which is a set of guidelines of what you must teach, but you can also adapt this framework, which is where, say, if you were doing instruction writing, then you can start to incorporate the child's interest around that. If you've got a child's interest around that, then that's going to lead to better engagement as well. So positive interaction. So this isn't only the way you interact, but it's also your way of kind of repairing a relationship. So this is also to do with relationship kind of maintenance as well. So if the relationship's been damaged, say you've had to put that student out of your class, or you've had an incident with that student, or something's happened in class that's kind of damaged that relationship. You have to be able to put in the time through positive interaction to repair that relationship, and it's known as something called a fresh start approach. So if a child leaves your classroom for whatever reason, say they're disrupting learning, when they come back into your classroom, and say that they've taken a couple of minutes outside, they've self-regulated, they're now in a position where they're ready to learn and to re-enter the classroom, then that's when the fresh start approach would happen. So as soon as that student comes through the door, oh, well done for making the right choice. Thank you for joining us. That type of positive interaction, rather than, you know, I've seen cases in the past where we've sent a student out and we haven't had that fresh start approach. Now that has led to the relationship being damaged, which has ultimately led to a reduction in engagement in that lesson, which is something that we don't want. When we're talking about trying to increase the employability status of these learners, we need to be getting this positive interaction and relationship maintenance part correct. The last part of the triangle is the engagement. So if you have a positive relationship with the students, you're providing positive interactions, and you're repairing the relationship when it's necessary, that's going to lead to more student engagement in lessons. So if you've got those positive relationships and the positive interaction, you're going to get some engagement in class. Kahoot is an absolutely fantastic tool that kind of facilitates all three of these aspects. So where does it fit in? So in terms of student engagement, it can be more challenging to engage a neurodivergent learner. You may have difficulty sustaining attention. So Kahoot is a classroom tool I've used to create my own kind of short game like presentations, like the one that you've been a part of. Immediately through that, the children feel connected, and because the interface is so rewarding and it's incentive based, and the children are competitive. They love to be battling each other. The leaderboard, they're trying to get on the leaderboard. It's a competitive element, and you've got the incentive there. So I've created personalized Kahoots, which are really good at the start of the year. So if you've got a new class and you don't know anything to do with the, you don't know any of your students at all, or you might know some of your students, this is just quite a nice kind of like icebreaker activity that you could use. So I've used it for all areas of teaching as well. I've used it for my starter. If I'm going to introduce a topic, I've used it for my core learning, my core teaching. I've also used it for my plenaries, which is like in England, which is kind of like your summary of teaching. What have we learned? So a little kind of like end of the lesson quiz as well. This is really important because with neurodivergent learners, you're working through something called their working memory, and you're trying to get that learning secured into the long-term memory. And Kahoot is just a fun and interactive way that it's another strategy that you can do that. There's also this link between neurodivergent conditions and low levels of dopamine, or an impairment with the production of dopamine. So low levels of dopamine can contribute to a poor working memory, like I've just alluded to, reduced concentration, and a lack of motivation and engagement. Now, this is where Kahoot fits in. Kahoot works as a catalyst to increase those dopamine levels by giving a neurodivergent brain enjoyment, satisfaction, and motivation. So Kahoot will also improve the three areas of support of the triangle that we alluded to before, of positive relationships, positive interaction, and engagement as well. So what may it look like in my classroom? So I could use Kahoot for a starter activity. So that could be to introduce a brand new teaching concept. It could be to build on prior knowledge from a previous lesson, or it could be used as a pre-assessment as well, as a kind of a baseline, just to engage where the children are not, where they're at, and where you need to know, where it'll obviously inform your planning and preparation for the next stage as well of the learning. My core teaching, so that'll be used. So I use Kahoot to explain like the main learning objective, or what is the goal for that lesson, but also for positive interaction and engagement. Due to having an impairment of dopamine, Kahoot is increasing those dopamine levels, so it's an absolute win-win for me. Plenaries, so that'll be just to recap learning or something that's happening in the classroom, or to add more learning to achieve the learning objective. So if a child's not quite there, we can do a little Kahoot to boost that. And that child wouldn't know. So you can be really, really clever. You can do like a kind of a mini plenary. You can go around the classroom. You can kind of understand who's got it, who hasn't. And then you can use that little Kahoot just to boost that learning, consolidate that learning concept, trying to get it from the working memory and secure it into the long-term memory. For transitional activities as well. So that would be from transition from like secondary to high school. Sorry, from primary to high school, secondary to high school, the same thing. From primary to high school is a massive transition. In England, it's from year 6 to year 7. So we could use a Kahoot just to help with that, to gain more knowledge and to gain more insight. But also for fun ways to build relationships in the classroom. It could be at key transitional points. So if you've got a class who are really lively after an outdoor break session, or after outdoor or recess or outdoor play, you can use a Kahoot just to bring them back, because you know it's going to engage the child. You can settle the class, and that is a great way to build on the lesson, because you're setting off the expectations and boundaries of behavior from the start. And finally, I've kind of alluded to this before as well, but just to repeat, consolidate any learning that may need repetition in order to be stored from the working memory into the long-term memory as well. So yeah, just a note to finish. So I found this from the Scientific Research Publishing Incorporation 2024. So students across the world perceive Kahoot to be a positive tool that enhances their motivation, enjoyment, engagement, and concentration. Kahoot is inclusive for neurodivergent children and supports all learning styles. So yeah, your visual, your auditory, your reading, your kinesthetic. So yeah, if you're not using Kahoot in your classroom, think about how can you use Kahoot in any capacity, because the potential's there. You've just got to use it. And then just a list of references there at the end. Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you so much, Jamie. And just checking in on the chat as we transition and segue to our next session today. So many opportunities and celebrations, excitements. Casey is saying great info. She's learning so much to carry over into their class. Great ideas. So many different ways that we can use Kahoot to kind of build that relationship and engagement connection. But most importantly, kind of seeing highlighted again and again how important it is to know your students, to know your specific class and your roster, and also to bring them lessons that feel relevant and exciting and engaging. That motivation point of, it's one thing to have awesome engaging lessons, but another to have those lessons that really feel connected and kind of enriched in that learning experience. So thank you so much for kind of sharing what those priorities look like in action and really spelling it out for us.
Thank you. So now moving on. Hannah, have you ever visited an escape room or done a scavenger hunt of any capacity?
Yeah, in fact, I feel like I've done both of those formats if we're really talking about what it looks like to engage learners and engage excitements. I've done escape rooms in several different countries with crew members. In fact, some of the themes were, I'm trying to think back, we had an expert explorers format, a mad scientist format, but those usually, as I'm thinking about how it might connect to right now, usually happen off screen, like in person in a live event.
But what if I could tell you that we can do a digital version via Kahoot of an escape room?
Exciting to see. I'm skeptical, so I'm hoping that there's some evidence to back up your ideas and your insights on this, Jamie.
Well, we've got Joran here now, who's going to actually show us how to create a digital escape room using Kahoot. So welcome, Joran.
Amazing to see.
Hello, welcome. Hello, thank you so much for having me.
We're excited for you to be here. And as I was saying, I'm excited to see this process and this format live happening now, and lots of excitement and really experience in the chat already, Jared. We see love escape rooms, love digital escape rooms, both in the primary setting and in the university and the high school setting. So I'll hand the microphone over. Take it away. Thank you for being here to show us all the intel and know-how.
Okay, thank you so much. I will share my screen. So, hello everyone. Welcome to my session, Creating Digital Escape Room Games with Kahoot. My name is Ceren. I am a Turkish teacher from Turkey and also Kahoot ambassador. It's so glad to be here. And today we'll be discussing key aspects of preparing an escape room and how to develop a storyline creating escape room with Kahoot. And at the end of the presentation, we will play a Kahoot escape room game with Kahoot, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Firstly, I want to talk about digital escape rooms. Digital escape rooms are immersive, interactive experiences that challenge players to solve puzzles and complete objectives within a virtual environment. And these games blend storytelling and problem solving and technology to create thrilling and engaging entertainment and also engaging lessons. And they are based on interactive presentations like Google Slides or Kahoot. And there is a key point is students need to solve different puzzles to get the next screen, and you need to make those puzzles more interesting. So there are so many benefits of digital escape room, but I will talk about three of them. Firstly, they enhance engagement. Digital escape rooms captivate students with their rich narratives and innovative puzzles and dynamic environments. So the students much more motivated with the stories. And utility is the second benefit of the digital escape rooms, because any subject and topic can be turned into an escape room for any class size or age group. I mean, I'm a Turkish teacher for 6th graders, but if you're elementary school teachers for 2nd graders, you can also use digital escape rooms. And the third one is the collaborative problem solving, and it's really important to working together. And these games encourage teamwork and fostering communication and problem solving skills among all the students. And there are three components of a digital escape rooms. Firstly, you need a story, immersive narrative. And secondly, you need challenging puzzles and interactive elements. Immersive narrative means a captivating story that draws students into a virtual world and motivates them to uncover the truth. Secondly, if your puzzles are complicated or mind-bending, and also these are challenges that require logical reasoning, observation, and innovative thinking to solve. And these are another key for us. And the third one is interactive elements and dynamic, responsive features that allow students to manipulate the environment and progress through the game. So how do I plan the activity? How do I plan a digital escape room game? Firstly, you need to decide on the general topic, and you need to decide on a storyline. And this is the main component is the of the digital escape room. And secondly, you need to consider the size and age of your group, your students, and you need to make a list of the key concepts that students need to learn. You know, we are using digital escape rooms as educational materials. So we need to make a list, and we need to we need to list of the key concepts that the students need to learn, and we need to they need to explain it. So you need to decide on the type of the puzzles. Remember always that you are teacher size and age of the group. So you need to decide your type of puzzles for your students. If they older, their puzzle will be difficult. But you always into in consideration with that. And write down the code word or number. I said that because if you are creating a complicated digital escape room game, And there will be so many passwords, keywords, codes. And if you start to play this game, you don't remember all of them. So if you write them, you will be you will be great to complete it. And then another thing is playtest. Playtest is after finishing the game, you need to test your game with a small group of students, small group of colleagues or family members. You need to play with your game, and you need to test your game, if it works or not. So main component is storytelling. I said that you need to create a storyline, and you need to create a story firstly. And you need to create a story that makes sense, connects all the puzzles and challenges in the game. And emotional connection, secondly, use the story, characters, and feeling of exploring makes students feel excited and curious. If you make your students feel excited or curious, that will your lessons more engaging. And lastly, design the game to look awesome with detailed environments and characters that make the students feel like they are really there. And it's also really important for us. How can we create a story? How can we create? How can we write a story? Actually, firstly, every part of your activity should tie with your story. And you always ask yourself that question: if that was a film or a book, would the students want to see it? If your answer is, keep going. But if you answer no, you need to work on it. And you have full choice of genre. You don't need to be realistic creating the story. You can use a book or a movie as a set of your game. And or both, like Harry Potter or Narnia or Lord of the Rings. And if you like storytelling, you can create exciting characters like or plot twist. But if the creative writing is not your strong point, you need to create a complex atmosphere and link the puzzles together. A story might suggest itself. I want to explain it like this. If you are a story teacher, the story includes many stories in it, or many characters, or many difficulties. So you can use your lesson or your lessons topic as a story also. These are the favorite escape room themes. I found those themes from Wikipedia, and you can use any resource from internet. You always consider your students' age for those themes also. Tomb and ancient civilizations, space, historical, supernatural, science, spy, and crime police. These are the students' favorite escape rooms. Actually, it will be fun also for the adults. And designing engaging puzzles and challenges. First, we created a story, and now we will design our game. So we need to use puzzles or challenges or logs. We need to use lots of different kinds of puzzles, like logic puzzles, riddles, codes, and keep students interested with it. And also we need to begin with easy puzzles and make them harder as the game goes on, so students can get better at solving them. It's always a motto for education, from easy to harder. And if you give feedbacks or hints, please give hints and feedbacks for your students at the right times to help them. but make sure without making it too easy, without making your game is easy. And these are my some suggestions for logs and puzzles. And Loki is a website offers to create a variety of online logs. I recommend it. Please check it out. Also, Word documents, Google Slides, OneNote, and they all have the password protect section, so you can use it. Also, Google Forms. If you create escape room games, a complete escape room games with, using different platforms, you can use those logs. But if you create a digital escape room, in Kahoot, you can use hidden objects, QR codes, code wheel, jigsaw puzzles, crosswords, cryptograms, and Caesar cipher. Also, Caesar cipher, I will recommend you to check out. Method in which each letter in the plain text is replaced by a letter some fixed the number of the positions down the alphabet. And you can use those puzzles as images. So we can use those puzzles on Kahoot also. So remember that. And also, Kahoot has many tools to create a digital escape room game, like slides, quiz, true, false, type answer, slider, and puzzles. We can create a plain quiz with Kahoot, of course, but if you add a story in it and also design a game atmosphere with Kahoot, you can make a digital escape room with Kahoot also. How can we use those things? We can use slides. We can use slides to give information about game and its stages. I will show you my game. And quiz, true, false, type, answer. These are great tools to create engaging puzzles. Also, we use images to create game atmosphere. And along the game of atmosphere, also you can use images like puzzles. Also, you can create another puzzle with images. And benefits of using Kahoot are they can be created easily because it's so easy to use. And also accessed by as many students as needed at the same time. And they can be shared with colleagues easily. And also, once the escape room design on Kahoot, you will need no other preparation. You can use all the time more than one, and same Kahoot. So these are the digital escape room games, and also how can we use Kahoot. So now we can play our game. Great. Okay. Oh my God. So many participants. Great. Okay, so let's start. Our game name is Lost Artifact. Firstly, you found yourself trapped in an ancient chamber, dimly lit with torches flickering on the walls. A mysterious voice echoes through the room. Welcome, brave adventurer, to Lost Tomb of the Pharaoh. To escape, you must find the legendary artifact. This is a slide, and I introduce my game with this slide. And we need to escape the tomb of the Pharaoh now. So we will find an artifact. We have some information about our game now. So please next. And this is room 1, entrance. You start in a small room with hieroglyphs covering the wall. There is a locked door ahead and a pedestal with a stone tablet. On the tablet, a riddle is inscribed. So there is a riddle. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wings. What am I? It's a riddle. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wings. What am I? I give 1 minute, I guess, for this question. It's the type answer question. So exciting. And time up. Oh, echo is the right answer. And echo, yeah. And oh, wind table, I don't know. Okay. Plane waves together, no. Okay. Yeah. Great, MG. So next question. It's a keyword. You need to find this keyword and keep it and write it down, please. To get away from a situation, place, or person that you do not like or that limits your freedom. First letter is E. You need to find this word and keep it because you will need it at the end of the game. Okay? It's not so difficult. I guess it's okay, right? Yeah. And we are now in second room, the puzzle chamber. As you enter the next room, you see a mural depicting a series of symbols. That mural seems to provide a clue. It's the story part, and now we will see the mural next on the next page. And read the mural. Align the symbols to reveal the path in order of moon, star, sun, and red. Unlock the passage, break free from the groove to find the artifact and escape your tomb. So please read it. And now it's puzzle. Arrange the words correctly based on the mural you read. These are, yeah, it was easy, right? Great. I might give some more time, I guess. But yeah. Yeah. Okay. Moon, star, sun, and red. Tomorrow we read those words, this ordering. So, okay. And Cindy, Miss Al, Jane, and Christia. Okay, great. Let's see. Our second keyword is with. We find out the first one. We write it down, our first keyword. And second one is with. It's just a word. So we keep it. If we keep it, we can go on. Yes, we are now in the room 3, the hall of mirrors. You step into a room filled with mirrors, reflecting your image infinitely. Amidst the mirrors, there is a plaque with an inscription. The key to unlocking the entrance lies within the duration of the civilization. Which civilization? Civilization. Seek it out to proceed. The key to unlocking the entrance lies within the duration of the civilization. Seek it out to proceed. So, if you are ready, it's a true-false question. And ancient Egyptians were a civilization that ruled for 3,000 years. True or false? Yeah. Five, four, three, two, one. Great, it's true. That's true. They ruled for 300 years. So we can keep going. And our scoreboard changes, but they are great. This is high standard. Okay. So this is our third keyword. What's colorful, full of laughs, and turns any room into a battleground of wits? It's a game where questions fly, friends complete, and only one can wear the crown. What am I? Where are we? What are we using now? So we are room 4, the final challenge. You reach a chamber with a pedestal and its center atop which rests a legendary artifact, a golden scrap. But as you approach, the room begins to shake and the walls start closing in. A timer appears, counting down from 20 seconds. So you have 20 seconds, so you must fast, okay? Only 20 seconds. And type answer. And double points. Please enter the keywords, all of the keywords from the beginning. You have 3 keywords. 1, 2, 3. First letter is E. First letter is E. Second is a word. Yes, escape with Kahoot. Escape with escape. So escape with game. Okay, escape, exit with Kahoot. Exit with Kahoot, we can maybe escape with game. Okay, thank you so much. And that's all. Let's see the podium. Third, Miss B. Congratulations. And Anika, second place. And first place is David. Congratulations. You are doing great. And Heather and Alicia. So that's all. Thank you for your participation, and it was really great for me. And I hope this session has inspired you and will assist you in creating your own escape room games. And thank you.
Thank you, Jaren. It was definitely inspiring. I see Dom is saying that escape rooms can add a little story and flair to any game, and so much excitement, fun tasks with creativity. Very fun, very fun, very fun. We so appreciate you leading us through that. Thank you so very much, and awesome to see the different creative ways that Kahoot can be used and implemented in a classroom. Really amazing to see, and we're so grateful to help that you were there to help us lead through it and understand it, and really awesome opportunities to supercharge learning and collaboration. Thank you for the inspiration.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Bye.
Of course.
Right, guys, before you click away, I just want to say a massive thank you to all our star speakers today. Thank you to Hannah for being an amazing, amazing host. I hope you guys have learned a lot from today that you can take back into your classrooms and start inspiring the future generation. So yeah, get out there and keep Kahooting.
Amazing. And in case you'd like to rewatch any of these sessions, relearn, or even share work with a coworker, a colleague, a teammate, or even a friend, all of our sessions will be available on demand for you to watch back and continue learning, or as needed to help claim your professional development credits. You can find them here on YouTube with our Kahoot EDU Summit event playlist, or back on our Kahoot.com webpage, kahoot.com/webinars, to take you back here to YouTube as well. We'll send out a reminder email with all of this information, as well as a link to your certificate to claim professional development credits, as well as any downloadable resources. I know a lot of Kahoots were shared throughout our sessions yesterday and today both, so we'll want to make sure that we get those resources and templates to you as well, so you continue to help achieve awesome in your classroom, no matter what it might look like. Thank you all for joining, and we'll see you on the podium. Happy Kahooting!
Oh shoot, it's time to play Kahoot.
Aw shoot, it's time to play Kahoot. Aw shoot, it's time to play Kahoot.
Aw shoot, it's time to play Kahoot. It's a friendly competition, but a competition nonetheless. Boy, it's time to play Kahoot. I hope that all y'all brought your best. If you study for the quiz, then you don't even gotta guess. We inside the lab and we not coming out like house arrest. One would say that we obsessed with learning, plus we having fun. I'm like Obi-Wan Kenobi. You see all my patty ones, quiet and the chatty ones. Everybody playing it. It's a battle of our wits, and we make it live and lit. It's lit. I got the keys on the plug. I'm the admin. Look at the screen, pick the pen, go on and log in. You better be ready with that knowledge in your noggin. Ready? Cause when that countdown in, you know we going in. Aw shoot, it's time to play Kahoot. It may seem like horseplay, but now we learning as a group. We standing resolute, and we gaining knowledge bit by bit. Sometimes learning's quiet, other times it's loud and passionate.
There's no running from this L. If you know you didn't study, play me one-on-one or with your group, go get your buddies. In the end, it's a win-win. If you win or lose, we gonna discuss the answers when we finish as a group. But until that time comes, we pushing one another, engaging in some healthy competition with each other. We gauging what we know to see just what we need to learn. Catch me on this answer street, look at all these coins I earned.
Got my nickname, got my A game, so let's get it poppin'. When I get them answers right, ice cream like Baskin Robbins, taking candy from a baby, but no, I'm not robbing. If you sleeping on a kid, boy, wake up because you slobbing.
If you sleeping on us, then I hope you tossing and turning. We not just playing games, show we actually learning. And we constantly yearning to learn something new every day. Check my grades and my conduct. Yeah, I slay.
Aw shoot, it's time to play Kahoot. It may seem like horseplay, but now we learning as a group. We stern and resolute, and we gaining knowledge bit by bit. Sometimes learning's quiet, other times it's loud and passionate.
Sometimes we are silent and we take a standardized test. It's so quiet you could hear a pen drop off the desk. Sometimes this is best we learn, yes, I confess. But sometimes we get energy to burn, yes, we a mess.
But we not talking interest into lessons, integrating ideas like Pinterest.
Do you think we at recess? These smiles on our face. And when we play Kahoot, man, I'm always gonna place. First, second, maybe third in the worst case. Getting all them answers right, green glowing on my face.
Nobody catch fits, we all good sports. All out like a blitz ball, like we on the court. Yeah, we gain in our brain, you can check the report. If you got a migraine, we apologize for the noise, sorry.
Aw, shoot, it's time to play Kahoot. It may seem like horseplay, but now we learning as a group. We stern and resolute, and we gaining knowledge bit by bit. Sometimes learning's quiet, other times it's loud and passionate.